Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys, before I get started, I wanted to let you guys know I think I fixed the lighting issue. I know a couple of you guys in the last couple of videos have been saying, Seto, it looks pretty dark. What's going on? Well, believe it or not, as some of you guys may know through my updates, I had a Crush card last month, and I forgot that thing up above my ceiling went out. Hopefully this video looks very bright. If it does, please leave a thumbs up because I do have lighting. That's why you can see my face looks fine now. So I legitimately was like, what is going on in my videos until I took a look at the ceiling. So my apologies. But today for you guys, I decided to talk about a topic that I have heard a couple of my friends talk about. And in addition to that, actually, it's something that has gone through my mind over the last few months. And, you know, I'm wondering if it's time to bring them back. Now, as you can see by the video, I'm talking about the Dragon Rulers. Funny enough, this is kind of funny here, but I actually have an old Dragon Ruler deck. And it's hard to imagine, really, as we're getting towards the end of this year, that next year will mark what? Dragon Rulers came out in Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, which was, I think, the summer of 2013. That was a long time ago now, guys. Think about that. That's almost 5, 6, 7, 8 years since Dragon Rulers were out. That's a long time when Blaster roamed the earth. You know, and Tidal and Tempest. Because remember, we used to play with these guys back in the day, you know, like Redox was played in Gadgets, and, you know, Tidal was played in Mermail. Remember that? And, you know, Blaster was played in Fire Kings. Ooh! Like, that was a long time ago, guys. And saying all that, you may mention that there's one that's not, I didn't show you, and that's Tempest over here. We'll get to talking about him in a second, but first off, it's been a long time that since Dragon Rulers initially came out, and you guys may know they got played in Light Swarm as Dragon Swarm deck. You had Water and Tree Dragon, the Mythic Dragon. You know, Dragon Rulers were so powerful they made an old card like Vandy's Emptiness become broken. They literally caused the split between the OCG and TCG ban list to some degree, actually, if you guys recall that. So Dragon Rulers have done a lot of different things over the course of Yu-Gi-Oh's history to some degree, I feel like, or they affected a lot of things that are still going on nowadays. And, you know, a few months ago, I think it could have been a year ago now, we had Tempest come off the list. Now, iconically, Tempest is a Dragon Ruler, and people are like, oh, it can't come off the list. Tempest was used mainly in Harpies back in the day, and wind-based strategies like Dragoons, I think it was used in maybe for a bit, but things of that nature. And Dragoons were teched in with Dragon Rulers. There's a reason why Stardust Assault mode was used in some decks. There's a reason why they could run different Dragon engines. But technically, Tempest is considered, so to speak, the weakest, quote-unquote, of the Dragon Rulers, which is why it was allowed to come off the list after coming off the list in the OCG initially. Now, I haven't looked at the OCG ban list, but last I checked, I think the Dragon Rulers are still banned. And I don't want to talk so much about the OCG ban list as I do our ban list, because that affects us generically, being from the TCG if you're watching this. Can they come back? Some people will say, because they have nightmares, like myself, of those days when I was showing that Dragon Ruler deck, of them roaming the earth and saying, they can't come back! And they may say Dragon Link is an issue. I get it. I get it. You know, there's a lot of Dragon support out there. What would a one of each Dragon Ruler type of deck look like? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. People thought Tempest was going to be played in a lot of different things. I haven't seen it be used in that much. I initially played it in Harpies. I took it out. It could be used in Dragon Link, I guess. Maybe some dragon strategy could use it, I guess. And this is kind of reminds me, and the reason I'm even bringing this up is because a banlist or so ago, we had Lithium Sagum come back. And a lot of my friends, and I believe too, the True King cards, so to speak, are kind of like new age dragon rulers in some regards. And I say that in some regards. Lithium Sagum probably being one of the better ones of all of them, but they all are pretty decent. But the only difference is their typing. What's that? Well, dragon rulers are dragons, and true kings are worms. Chinese dragons, okay? Yeah. I mean, same thing. Apples, oranges, but in Yu-Gi-Oh! It does affect, how they're played and perceived. So saying all that, we saw, it come back to one of, right? We saw Lithium Sagum come back to one of. Could we see maybe more dragon rulers come back in time? Is it time to release them all to one of? Now, some people say, well, maybe you have to ban the babies before you do that. That's like an age-old thing that's been going on for years, guys, people saying that. What I'm saying is, I think they can come back. Maybe not right now, but sometime in the year 2021 or 2022, I think they could easily come back. I really do. I really believe so. Because the dragon rulers, and you have to remember the concept of the dragon rulers, were not initially to be used as a deck core per se, but to be used as elements of dragons that could be used in different elements. That's why they're all different elements. Redox could be used for earth, Blaster could be used for fire, Tidal for water, Tempest for wind. Now, they never made a dark and light dragon, unless it's Darkness Light Dragon. That's a different card altogether. But saying all this, that's what their initial use was supposed to be. Before we got Big Eye Steals Big Eye and Dragosac and the Sacred Cards of Seven Swords, and the list goes on and on and on and on. But that was initially Konami's plan for these cards. And I recall very, very clearly when Dragon Rulers were first announced and we didn't know a lot of it, and we hadn't seen what it was going to do in the OCG, people thought, oh, it's just elemental support. It'll be decent. It'll be teched in. We quickly found out a few months later that was not incorrect. And believe me, there are some YouTubers that are still on Yu-Gi-Oh! That said that back in the day. They know who they are. I haven't forgotten after all these years. But saying all this, guys, can they come back? Why can they come back? I don't know how much of an impact they would really have. I mean, people thought Tempest was going to have more of an impact. I haven't seen much of it. I could easily see the card coming back to maybe 2 of eventually. Maybe before all the other cards come off the list, but I could see it. It's possible. I mean, they've brought more powerful cards back before. I mean, come on, think here, guys. Do you remember Snatch and Steal? Yeah, they brought that back. So saying this, guys, I don't know how much of effect they would really have. Maybe as tech options, but as a deck, maybe not. Are they going to errata them? I remember that used to be a thing where people said they would only be 1 Dragon Ruler per deck. That was the talk around the water cooler for many years. I don't think they're going to do that because they already brought Tempest back. I think what's more likely is going to happen one day is they're going to at least come all back to 1 of. And like I said, I don't know when, but I think it's time to maybe start discussing this happening in the nearer future than thinking it's just never going to happen and we just put it out of our mind. Because cards get power creeped. They do. They do indeed. And they could come back. They literally could, guys. They've brought cards back quicker than Dragon Rulers. I think, personally, the reason why they haven't come back sooner is A, because they are dragon typing, which I will admit, there's a lot of dragon stuff out there, guys. There's Dragon Link even going on nowadays. It's not as strong as it was, but it's still out there. It's still being used, etc. saying that, the rank 7 pool is not that great. The one thing I've always loved about the Dragon Rulers are they're easy facilitators for synchro plays, so maybe a synchro deck could abuse them. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, it depends, but it does promote some synchros and rank 7 exceeds, which is awesome. And there's not a lot of great level 7s exceed monsters right now, really. We got Red Eyes, Dragossack, and Big Eye. Those are like kind of the big three ones right there, and there's some generic ones that are used for certain decks. But there's not a lot, is what I'm trying to say. So that's off the board. They help facilitate level 8 synchro plays. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's good. Level 8s are generic. They're used in many different synchro decks. So there's pros to it. The cons are we don't know how people would abuse them per se, and even I cannot fathom the combos that players out there could come up with per se that makes them broken again. So but at the same time, guys, and this is why I'm going back and forth, I'm trying to present to you guys reasons why they can come back, why they would be healthy for the game, but also keeping in mind that they could become broken. And that's for you to decide in the comments section. I will say this, though. Do try not to have PTSD with this deck, so to speak. That happens a lot with Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I feel like, in some regards, that are on the ban list or the limited section, where people have PTSD of a card. It did this 10 years ago. It can never come back. Can I ask you something? Do you think Yatagarasu would be as broken as it was in 2004? Maybe there's one cheese combo out there that could become broken, but is that going to be winning tournaments in 2021 and 2020? I don't think so. Now, there are certain cards I agree with should stay on the ban list. But these, I think, could come back. Maybe not right now. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not after breakfast. But eventually. So tell me your thoughts down below. Do you think eventually in the near future Dragon Rulers could come back to 1 of piece? I'm not saying really bring them all back to 3 of. I'm saying as 1-ofs. Blaster, Tidal, and Tempest, and Redox could all together be back at 1 of. And how would that help and be beneficial to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Or, if you don't believe that, how could it hurt the game? How could they be super abused? And don't just give me a one-off combo, please. Let me know, guys, how these could be abused in a tournament setting, if so. I'd like to hear your thoughts. And I know Dragon Link is a thing. I'm not too familiar with a lot of Dragon Link combos ever since it initially got hit. But I know there's a lot of new Dragon support that's come out, so they can be abused in some way, probably. That's why I say not now, but maybe in the near future, possibly. So let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. Hope you enjoyed this discussion. Like I said, I was presenting different thoughts and from different camps. The yeses, the nos, and the benefits and the cons. So after giving you all that, let me know what you think. Take care, everybody. Good luck dueling to all of you guys, and happy holidays.